Good afternoon, family. Good afternoon, and welcome to another Monday Reset. Monday Resets, that's where we stop carrying last week's weight and begin building this week's strength. Now, as always, take a deep breath. You made it. You are still here. And that means that you still have another opportunity to take your power back. I need you to own that. This afternoon, I want to give you one assignment. Not 10, not 20, just one. I want you to pay attention to one word. One small word, one tiny word. One word that quietly keeps so many survivors trapped. That word is but. I know it doesn't sound like much, but today I want to show you how one tiny word can keep you living in a reality that no longer serves you. Now, yesterday during Sunday Alignment, we talked about how I taught my daughters not to begin their explanations with that word, with the word but. Because most of the time, that word was not helping them tell the truth. It was literally helping them escape it. And then I realized adults do exactly the same thing. Only now the consequences are much bigger. Someone asks, why are you still answering their calls? But someone asks, why do you keep checking their social media? But someone asks, why are you still waiting for them to change? But, really, do you see it? The trauma bond does not always speak loudly. Sometimes, just sometimes, it whispers. It whispers through one little word. I need you to own that. Now, let me be very, very clear. I'm not telling you to stop being compassionate. I'm not telling you to stop being kind. What I'm telling you to stop using compassion as permission to abandon yourself. See, there is a difference, a huge difference. Reality says they lied. The trauma bond says, but they were under pressure. Reality says they ignored my boundaries. The trauma bond says, but they had a difficult childhood. Reality says they kept hurting me. The trauma bond says, but they apologized. Family, at some point, you have to ask yourself, am I explaining their behavior or am I excusing it? Because those are not the same thing. And I need you to own that. Now, as we move into the week, here is your challenge for this week. I need you to carry a notebook or a little writing pad or something, or even open the Notes app in your phone. Every single time you catch yourself saying, but, write it down. Don't judge yourself. Don't beat yourself up. Just write it down. At the end of the week, read the list. You might be shocked. You might actually be shocked to discover exactly where your trauma bond is still hiding. I say this often. Awareness always comes before freedom. Now, while we're here, let me teach you something. Let me teach you something that literally changed my life. Replace but, that word but, replace it with and. You hear the difference? Throw away but and use and. Here's the difference. They lied, but I still love them. Now, change it into this. They lied, and I deserve honesty. They manipulated me, and I'm choosing peace. They left, and I'm still worthy. They found someone new, and I refuse to measure my value by someone else's choices. Do you hear it? The word and does not erase reality. It allows two truths to exist at the same time. That's real maturity. That's healing. That's taking your power back. I need you to own that. See, one of the greatest lies the trauma bond ever teaches is that if you fully accept reality, you will stop being a loving person. That's not true. See, acceptance doesn't harden your heart. It literally frees it. Why? Because you're no longer spending your emotional energy trying to make reality become something it never was. Now you're finally able to invest that energy. Invest that energy into yourself, into your healing, into your children, into your dreams, into your purpose. See, that's where life begins again. Family, this Monday, I don't want perfection. I want awareness. Notice the word. Pause. Smile. Take a breath. Then ask yourself this question. Am I protecting the truth or am I protecting the trauma bond? That one question, I'm telling you, that one question can change everything. Now, before we close, I want to remind you, healing is not about becoming someone new. Healing is about returning to the person who always existed underneath the pain. That person is still there. I need you to trust yourself. I need you to take your power back. I need you to move out of the pain. And remember, every time you replace but with truth, you take another step towards freedom. I need you to own that. I'm Minister Robinson. This is your Monday Reset. The Now Movement, no other way but forward. And I want you to go out there and have an amazing week. You already know. Love you guys. Stay powerful.